What's going on, everybody? It's Rick. This here's the natural bedding bin. We'll see how everything's looking. So this is the side that was fed the last time. Wow, right on cue though. These two are mating. So if you haven't seen that before, they get entangled and they get to each other's clitellums, and worms are hermaphroditic, so they have both male and female parts, and the one impregnates the one and the other impregnates the other one. So kind of glad I seen that happening real quick. I was able to show you guys. So back to what I was saying. This here was fed on this side, and then I had my little hospital stent with the blood clot, and I did add just a little bit of food over here, so we'll see how everything's looking. I cannot remember what I added to here, but I did add a little something. And, ooh, I believe these were ends of the asparagus. So you can see they're still in here. Worms are like crawling through them. Let me see if I can leave some of them to the side so I can put it in this new feeding area. Oh yeah, I got tons of fresh bedding still, so that's great. I ended up using a lot of it, so I have to go back outside and bring some more in. So I won't be adding any fresh bedding today. But from what I see, they are still pretty good. Oh yeah, see? Tons of fresh bedding. Don't forget to put that back in the feeding area. Oh, and then I had a brown paper bag on. That's a piece of that. It all comes back to me. I just have to go ahead and look around for a little bit. Cob. That's going to go back into the feeding area. Another piece of that bag. Man, I must have added a ton of, I think it was a good 3/4 of a pound of asparagus we had, and I cut the ends off, so there's quite a few pieces of asparagus. As I keep pulling more out, see? So, not sure if you guys have ever fed asparagus or asparagus ends. Basically, it's a little woody. Definitely a harder substance. So it takes a little while for the asparagus ends to, or the stems of the asparagus to break down in the worm bin. move some of these leaves over and let's see what's going on over on this side. Oh yeah, there's a little moisture down there. Worms are having a good time with that. Oh, found another cob. Oh my goodness, yeah, there's worms all throughout this. Maybe I'll kind of put the feeding a little bit more in the middle for this week. So, there's all that material that I want to make sure I get in the feeding area. Seeing that these guys have been troopers, I'm giving them some more pumpkin. And a nice large feeding of the pulp. I have some coffee grounds for them. Another food source for the worms. And this is just from little K-cups. So after they're brewed, I just sit them on top of this lid. And then when I get 2 or 3, I go ahead and start filling my container back up. If you wanted to, you could do it after each and every coffee usage. But for me, it's a little easier to wait a day or two and do, multiple at the same time. On top of this feeding, I like to add my ground up eggshell as a grit source for the worms. The eggshells also act as a buffer. So if the bin starts to get a little too acidic, that can help bring the bin back towards neutral. I see some fresh leaves here, so I want to get a little more leaves kind of in that feeding area for them. So now looks like an acorn. We'll see. Maybe that'll go ahead and sprout into a little tree. Got distracted there. Basically, after I do the feeding, I like to cover up the feeding area with the castings and the bedding to hopefully prevent any issues with flying insects, fruit flies, fungus gnats, anything like that. Freezing the food before adding it definitely does help, and then making sure that it's completely covered is just another benefit to hopefully prevent any flying insects. On top of that feeding area, I'm going to add my worm chow, which is expired oats that I pulverized. It's flour, cornmeal, and a little bit of pulverized eggshell. This here is not a necessary step. However, I do like to add it because, as you've seen, or hopefully you've seen, there's worms all over the place. The pumpkin that I did add was frozen still, and then the pulp from the juicer was previously frozen but thawed. So it's going to take a little bit of time for the biology of the bin to start working that food over. So this gives the worms a little bit of food right now that they can go ahead and eat on. I was very happy to see I finally have a date for my Master Gardener worm talk that I'm doing. It's going to be called Vermiculture, Composting with Worms. It's the end of February, so that's pretty cool. I'm still in the process of finalizing some data that I want in with the talk, and then I'm still in the process of putting it into a PowerPoint presentation. So it's definitely going to be a little different. Good thing is it's going to be in person, so I can answer questions while I'm there. Plus, I will have multiple sets of my bins there so people can actually check it out and see what's going on inside the bin. Well, hope everybody's doing well. If you guys have any questions, make sure you drop them down in the comments. Thanks for coming along, checking out the video. Everybody have a great day.